beautiful souls. Welcome back. You are your own beloved. Physical Fridays video. I'm going to talk to you about the wart on my hand. And this is actually a petal in my book, Sunflower #1. And it was such an interesting experience because it's funny how you learn things, right? And then you could even write about things and then somehow you forget them. And when I decided to do my books on audio and just put it out there for the world for free, it was such an amazing experience because there's something completely different to reading your own story out loud. I mean, I was going through it. I mean, if you ever listen to my books on audio, I mean, there's so much emotion. There's times where I'm just like, I couldn't even speak, just breaking down. I think I might have been crying on a couple of the petals because it's like I was reliving it over again. And the other interesting thing is I go back, I'm like, oh my God, this shit is good. I got to remember this, like, wow, how come I forgot to do that, and then you reflect on it, you're like, wow, what? It's just so amazing how like you can learn something and then like a year later it's like you're not practicing it, or a few months later you're not practicing it. And so that was a big aha moment for me. And a big aha moment was as I was writing this book. I had this actually it was before I started writing my book, right before. I had this wart on my hands and I tried everything to make it go away. I did all the natural, ways to make your wart go away, and then I even went the Western way and went to the doctor, and I mean, I did everything. And it was, believe it or not, on my hand for almost 2 years. And it's really a challenge when you like use your hands for a living. So my boyfriend at the time, he used to like, cut it off and then it would come back. And it was so funny, like he would just like shave it off and then like within a month it would come back. And it was just so interesting, right? And I was very frustrated because I was like, what the heck, wart? Like, you've been with me for years. I'm like, you've been with me longer than any man. I'm like, are you like really attached to me, right? So I was frustrated at one point and I just like sat and like reflected and just thought about it, like, what is the message here? Because there's always a reason, there's always a message, and we just need to just tune in. And I didn't really do that. I was just trying to do everything, externally to get this wart away. Like, I just hated it. It was embarrassing. I didn't want it. Just make it go away. And so when I tuned in, it was like I heard this wisdom, that was my divine self. Like, okay, you're finally listening now. Here we go. And it was like this aha moment was like, oh, I get it. So basically what was happening was I was reading all these books, writing about all this stuff, telling people about this stuff, about how you are the creator of your life and your biology and you're in control of your biology. And I read all of Bruce Lipton. He's one of my favorite authors. Lovely man. I spent time with him at Sundance in Canada. And his book, The Biology of Belief, and there's another book, The Honeymoon Effect, which I love, and I quote his books. I wasn't practicing it. I was just reading it. I was like, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Totally. I totally resonate with what you're saying, Bruce. But I wasn't practicing it. I wasn't taking it in. And the wart was telling me, like, okay, you're believe in the biology of a belief. You believe in epigenetics, but you're not using it for your own life. And I was like, it was just like this light bulb went off. And so when that happened, when that clicked, I was like, oh, okay. So I literally just looked at my hand and looked at my wart, and I said, gosh, I don't even remember what I said. Okay, I said something like, bye-bye, bye wart, or I am so grateful that this wart is gone and my hand is healed. You know, it was just something that simple, like, and I'm not kidding you, within like 3 days, my wart went away completely, gone. I mean, I'm talking 2 years of suffering and pain and embarrassment with this wart on my hand, and within 3 days, it disappeared. And that's because something clicked. It clicked here, and then I cut the air with it, with my words, because as creators, that's what we do. Our word is our creation. I just said to my wart, like, okay, it's time for you to go, and my hand is healed and the wart is gone. You know, I just saw it, my hand is healed, and it just went away. And it was that simple. It was just such a powerful learning lesson for myself, and I wanted to share that with you on this Physical Friday video, because somehow we've all got disconnected from our body, and our human body is the vessel or the sacred temple to our soul, our precious divine essence, our light. You know, our light lives in our body. And if we're not connected, I mean, think about it. You could have cancer, you could have this disease that's eating away your body from the inside out and not even be aware of it. I mean, it's crazy how disconnected we've become. So part of taking your health back is connecting back to your physical temple and honoring it, and not just thinking like, oh, it's just this body that I have that's gonna age and decay, and like, no. Okay, I remember when I took a biology class in college, and the first day I walked into class with the professor, he said the most depressing thing, and I remember thinking, he said, at this point in your life, your body is already starting to age, decay, to get decrepit, and get old and die, something like that. I think I was like 19, and I'm thinking, wow, that's a depressing thought. And I think, you know, like the average person would just take that in because you're sitting in your class, he's a professor, and in some way, like subconsciously, I think we've all maybe took it in, but something in me was really rebellious against that statement. And I was like, fuck that, no way, I can't, no, I can't live with that, no. I was just kind of like, nope, not taking that in. That is not my truth, buddy. So, bye. And I think it's important that we are able to think for ourselves and decide like what we feel is true, and what we don't just take what, just because he's a professor or an expert, like if it doesn't resonate with you, don't take it in as your truth. And I just know. So I learned that when I was studying to become a health coach about 12 years ago, there was this really cool thing that I learned. And our body, we get a new skeleton about every 14 years or so, and that every single thing in our body dies and is rejuvenated or regrows, except for our teeth. I mean, our teeth not yet, but everything. I mean, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that every single day billions of cells die and are reproduced, and without you even having to do a single thing? I mean, what is that? What is that does that? Do anything that's miraculous? Like, we are a miracle. Your body is a miracle. We need to treat it that way. And by the way, it's called remodeling. So you know how you can remodel your house? Well, you can remodel your body. Your body actually does it on its own without you doing a single thing. It remodels. You get a new body every 14 years or so. So take that in as your truth, and don't just decide like, oh, I'm getting older and I'm just going to get weaker and I'm going to decay and to get decrepit. No. I decided a long time ago that every time I get a year in human years, you know, chronological years older, that I'm going to get stronger, more youthful, younger. I made that my truth. So you can do that. And I think it's working for me because this year in March, I'm going to be 54. And I mean, I feel great, except, yeah, last year I had 2 car accidents. That could be a whole nother video. And yeah, so I had to, the car accidents actually were a blessing because now I'm getting physical therapy and acupuncture, massage, chiropractic, all being taken care of through my insurance. So I'm able to just continue to self-care for my physical body for free. So that was a blessing. And yeah, I decided a long time ago that I'm not aging. Sorry. And I have another video that I'm going to share with you, which will piggyback onto this video about another tool technique that I learned from Cryon about how to stop the aging process and get off the human bell curve. And it was very powerful. I did it a few years ago, and I think it works. So I just wanted to share that with you to start to, it's important to really start to look at your biology and your body differently. This is a living entity, and you have control over it. You can program your body. You are the master of your body. And to have your body work for you and to be in the best health and shape that you can be, the first step is to be thankful for your body and not abuse it. You know, we all abuse our bodies in so many different ways, whether we push ourselves like by over-exercising, or we overeat, or we emotionally eat, or, you know, we just put foods that we know that aren't the greatest for our body into our body, or we over drink alcohol or take in harmful fumes or smoke. And there's so many ways that we can just abuse and take our body for granted. And even with all that, even when we do that, our body still, which is like the most amazing thing, will still regenerate and regrow and just keep working for you. I mean, to a point where maybe you just drink yourself to death, or you smoke yourself to death, or you eat yourself to death, which can happen. But really, like, the body is our like best friend, and it's our sacred temple. So take some time to give love to your body every day. And I will share, I'm going to post a Qigong self-massage that I really love, and it's so helpful for the physical body, and I'll post that here as well. And yeah, so I'm going to end right here, and I will add that self-massage video and the Cryon technique and tool for stopping the human aging process. I'll add that too. Talking to myself out loud and to you. Sorry about that, but lots going on up here. So I hope this was helpful in some way. And let's end this video by just giving ourselves a big hug, patting ourselves on the back. Good job, you know, just by sitting and just being open to listening to, maybe these are new ideas or thoughts. Maybe you've never heard them before, maybe you have and forgotten, or maybe you totally resonate and agree with what I'm saying. But either way, just give yourself a pat on the back for sitting here and listening and trying, something new for yourself in this new year, 2023. And yeah, let's try something new. Let's try some self-love for the body and just honoring this beautiful temple. Whatever size, shape, form, whatever, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Give yourself that love, okay? Thanks for listening. See you soon. Aloha. The soul fire in me, I give to you. Aho. To learn more about my offerings, visit my website at igniteyoursoulfire.com. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below, my soul family. Thank you for being here on our precious planet Gaia at this time. Your light matters. You matter. You make a difference in the world by just being you. Ahuiho, until our hearts meet again. You are loved.